Hello and welcome. I am Dominoid and welcome to the first in a new series. Today we're going to be shaming a game. So what is game shaming? Well, game shaming, I am going to give a chance to some games that are renowned for being poor and see if they're actually any fun or not. The majority of them probably are not going to be. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not expecting good things from this series, but we might occasionally find a hidden gem that everybody else hates. So yes, that's game shaming. Right, so what are we going to start with? Well, this is a brand new series, so we're going to start with something relatively new. It's still retro in my opinion. We are going PlayStation 1. We have got M&Ms Shell Shocked. Yes, this is a game which was designed entirely to sell food and junk food, and it is solely responsible for me being so fat. That's a lie. Honestly, I don't think anybody would let you get away with this nowadays because we're very hot on food being, bad food being marketed to children. So putting it in a game is really going to get the moral panic going. But still, here we are. So let's have a look at the blurb on the back of the box, shall we? So it's crazy, it's fun, and it's exciting. The M&Ms Minis are in charge of the chocolate factory, although they do seem to be just the regular-sized M&Ms from the advert. But never mind. Chaos, colours and chocolate are everywhere, and it's up to you to save the day. Up to you. You. Run, jump, fly, surf and drive through 28 crazy 3D levels of chocolate mischief. You don't see the phrase chocolate mischief on the back of a game box very often, do you? Let's never put it on one again. Discover loads of superb bonus levels, and they've for some reason capitalised bonus for no reason. Find masses of manic secret levels, which is also capitalised. 8 huge bosses to defeat. Use 4 brilliant power-ups like cruise shoes and super springs. So here's you've got the controls. It just tells you what the buttons are, and then it tells you how to move forward, move backwards, move right, move left, pause, go berserk, spin attack, jump, go berserk, spin attack has another button. Status bar shows how many M&Ms minis and pieces of formulas you've collected, and the number of lives yellow has left. So it looks like you can only play as the yellow M&M in this. So what's the story? Yellow has made the biggest mistake of his peanutty life. He left the M&Ms Minis in charge of the candy factory. Needless to say, it's a candy-coated catastrophe. In no time flat, the tiny hysterical candies have turned the factory upside down, and yada, yada, yada. You've got to drive through the city and suburb back to the factory, but watch out for all those other crazy drivers. The M&Ms Minis have scattered candy crates everywhere, which is a good thing because you can smash these crates to collect M&Ms Minis and earn extra lives. Once Yellow reaches the factory, guide him through 7 levels of madcap manufacturing. Your goal is to rid the factory of the marauding M&Ms Minis and find the missing pieces of the M&Ms candy formulas hidden in crates throughout the factory. Well, that's good, isn't it? So you've got some power-ups and stuff. You've got bonus levels and lost formulas, secret areas, main menu, in-game menu, and for some bizarre reason, we've got the red M&M there, but his feet have magically disappeared. He's still got his arms, but there's been a terrible, terrible industrial accident. And oh no, there he is again. Look, it's happened twice. That's just, it's creepy. Here's a list of people who should probably be ashamed of themselves. And you've got customer service numbers. So if you really want to be ripped off, then you can call this 0870 number for PlayStation customer service and tell them that you bought the M&Ms game and that's causing you problems because now you regret buying the M&Ms game. So let's see. How much should we get?
Simon & Schuster Interactive. They're a book publisher. Didn't realise that they had video games division until now. Wonder if this was what killed it off. Would not surprise me. Options. By options, literally just mean volumes. That's all you've got in the way of options. That's fine, I can live with that. Play. Right.
Well, my yellow fellow, it's time these M&Ms had a little R&R.
R&R? Is that a new candy? Are we being phased out?
I hope so.
We are going on vacation. Come on.
Dear.
One last thing before we arrivederci. Who did you leave in charge of the candy factory?
What, in the
Hello?
5 seconds since you announced you were going on holiday?
And what?
You're turning red.
Repeat after me. I did not leave the M&Ms Minis in charge of the candy factory. Has your chocolate melted? Have you gone completely nuts?
The minis aren't that bad. All they need is a chance.
All you need is a brain donor. Get to the factory, pronto! There's a Minis mutiny going on. They've stolen the formulas for all the M&Ms candies. Stop those Minis!
Oh no!
Formulas. Go!
How will we know what's in an M&M now? Apart from,
There goes my partner. There goes my career.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine the formula to M&Ms is particularly secretive, considering how many different brands of chocolate coated in sugar there are. Well, you know it's going to be good if it takes this long to load, right? Because it's, why would they make you wait this long if it wasn't worth waiting for? Just adjusting the beard. Oh, hang on. Right, and the game starts with no warning. See, I got bored and started tidying up my beard. So the controls here are literally limited to left and right. You can't control the speed. None of the other buttons do anything at all. And every time you move, it's kind of like you're screeching around a corner. Even small movements make that squeaking noise. Somebody really needs a new fan belt, I assume. Also, why is the row full of boxes exactly? Did somebody just explode up ahead in the distance for no reason? What? Oh, extra life. Another extra life. And another extra life. Ironically enough, this game seems to hand out extra lives like candy. Oh. Whoops. What the? I just crashed into literally nothing. Gotta be careful of that nothing. It might... The music makes it sound like this game is going to be brilliant. It really isn't. Really, really is not. I mean, I'm sure it'll get better as it goes on, right? This is just sort of a... What the hell is that? Some kind of mutant giant cow. What? There's another one. Look at it. It's huge. It's bigger than those motorbikes. Which, in turn, are bigger than my car. That... Why do you keep doing that? That's a stupid thing to do. I'm a car. Well, I'm in a car. You won't come off well doing that. So we've got giant mutant cows of some kind. We've got suicidal bike riders. Look, it's another giant cow. Look at the size of him. It. I mean, I don't know what gender it is. I haven't asked. And quite frankly, I don't want to because it's a giant mutant cow. Why was there just a gate in the middle of the road? Okay, so this must be the M&Ms factory, but you'd think there'd be a sign or something. Giant gate ahead. Oh.
Here goes nothing.
Wait,
Little friend?
they had a helicopter all along.
Maybe this calls for the ringer, the Top Gun, the go-to guy. Nah, you're right. You go.
Wish me luck.
Miracles happen every single day. They do. We're dead.
Well, that was anticlimactic. Dear. Right, okay, so it's basically a budget Crash Bandicoot now. Got a hard hat. I think that means we can hit something without dying. And immediately hit something. Oh, okay, if he touches white things, he dies. Maybe that's white chocolate. I guess he probably would die for falling into hot chocolate. Oh, wait, no, that time I died by hitting the floor. Or possibly like the chocolate coming out of that pipe. So he dies if he touches chocolate. Like, that's the equivalent to me dying if I touched blood. Which, you know, I try not to do too often. Oh. Oops. Uh-oh. So there was a little moment there where he was still moving, but the moving animation was no longer playing. So he was just sort of sliding forwards. Also, if the M&Ms minis are the reason for all of this chaos, why are they just sort of hiding in boxes? camera viewpoint like this. I didn't touch anything! That was the floor! Oh, the floor is deadly now, is it? The floor is lava. Is that what we're doing? That looks like it's above you, but it's supposed to be on the floor. This game has no sense of perspective or scale or anything. How are those boxes just suspended in mid-air? So does the M&Ms factory just have random floating crates? How? Makes no sense. Oh no, oops. Oh, mid-air killed me. I've got to go all the way back to here again. It's one of these horrible moving platform sections, which is much more difficult in this than it would be in other games because you can't tell where anything is. What are these things meant to even be? Oh. Oh no, now I'm going to have to go all the way back to the... Oh, screw you, you little sugar-coated bastard. Is that a fucking Triforce? I sense a little copyright infringement going on here. Oh. Oh, okay. I think you've got to get that thing hit by the chocolate. I can't actually hit that myself. Yeah, so it follows you. So if yeah, that worked. If I just jump between these chocolate splodged ones, that thing should follow me. And then it gets hit. Oh, that was it. That was easier than I thought it would be. Fair enough. First boss done. Oh, and I got some springy springs. Oh, you're joking. Really? After all that, that was what killed me. Did I just get killed by the floor? Right, so the floor is deadly now, is it? Are you playing The Floor is Lava? Oh, for clumsy. Oh, The Floor is Deadly again. We're playing this game, are we? Again. Come on, it's a floor. Ah. Oh, for Christ's sake. Now I've only got 22 lives left. Oh, this is ridiculous. The floor should not kill you. Just you know, that's one of the basic rules of game design. The floor should not be a hazard. It should be the floor. It's not how floors work. Oh, there's a checkpoint there at least. If I can make it to that checkpoint, I might feel a bit less irritated by this section. Oh. The controls are so clunky. There's no analog control, obviously. Oh, for heaven's sake. How many lives have I got left? 6. Ah! 5. 4. Down to my last life. Do you know what? I am not going to restart. I am going to stop playing. So yeah, that was M&Ms Shell Shocked. I mean, the thing is, it's got the framework of a good game underneath it. It's sort of, if it had been given more polish, I think it would have actually been quite enjoyable. As it is, the controls are really clunky and difficult. The mechanics are inconsistent. The floor sometimes kills you. Scaling and perspective is completely out of the window. There's giant mutant cows knocking around. You can't tell if things are above you, below you, and to the side. It's a horrible cash-in that was designed just purely to sell chocolate, and whoever was responsible for it should be very, very, very ashamed of themselves. Go and sit in the corner and think about what you've done. Nonetheless, thank you very much for joining me. It was quite a slog, and I'm just glad that you stuck with me through it, because quite frankly, it makes it worthwhile playing such a terrible abomination of a game. Thank you very much. Remember to like and subscribe. And if you want to be the first person to know when I play something awful or something good, then remember to click the bell. That will give you notifications to let you know about new videos. So I've been Dominoid. You have been absolutely lovely, and I will see you soon. Thank you very much, and cheers.